The massive research station hummed with quiet energy, its steel corridors reflecting soft blue light from countless computer displays. Hyun-Ki Park stood motionless, watching the distant stars through the transparent observation deck. His fingers moved quickly across the holographic interface, tracking subtle gravitational movements in the Andromeda cluster. At 32, Hyun-Ki was considered a prodigy in interstellar research. His lean frame and sharp eyes suggested someone who spent more time with data and complex equations than with human interactions. Today was different. A new research partner had arrived from the Emerald Planetary Consortium, an alien researcher named Ji-eun Kim. She walked into the research center with unexpected grace. Her movements were fluid, almost like water flowing through a narrow channel. Unlike human researchers who typically wore standard white lab uniforms, Ji-eun wore a shimmering, adaptive suit that changed colors based on her body temperature and emotional state. Gravitational anomaly detected at coordinates 3.7 by 9.2, she said, her voice carrying a musical quality that seemed to blend technology and natural sound. Her communication translator converted her native language into perfect, crisp English. Hyun-Ki raised an eyebrow. Most researchers would have waited for a formal introduction, but Ji-eun was direct. Her holographic display showed complex mathematical calculations that looked more like abstract art than scientific data. Interesting approach, Hyun-Ki responded, studying her calculations. Your computational method suggests nonlinear quantum entanglement. Ji-eun smiled. Her smile wasn't typical. It seemed to contain multiple layers of meaning, like a complex mathematical equation waiting to be solved. Her skin had a slight iridescent quality, suggesting genetic modifications or perhaps her alien heritage. The research station was silent except for the soft beeping of computer systems and the distant hum of life support mechanisms. Outside the massive windows, stars flickered against the infinite blackness of space. Distant nebulae painted soft colors across the cosmic canvas. Hyun-Ki realized quickly that Ji-eun was not just another researcher. She processed information differently. Where human scientists might take hours to analyze complex data, she seemed to understand patterns instantaneously. Her brain, or whatever alien equivalent she possessed, worked like a quantum computer. Your species has fascinating computational methods, Ji-eun said, rotating a holographic model of a distant star system. Humans convert complex problems into linear solutions. My species sees problems as interconnected networks. Her statement wasn't a criticism. It was an observation, scientific and neutral. Hyun-Ki appreciated her direct communication style. No unnecessary emotions, no diplomatic padding, just pure, raw information. Their first collaborative project involved tracking an unusual gravitational wave that seemed to bend traditional physics. Normal research teams would have spent weeks preparing. Hyun-Ki and Ji-eun started working within minutes of meeting. Their workstation became a symphony of holographic displays, shifting colors, and rapid data exchange. Ji-eun's fingers moved across interfaces that seemed to respond to her thoughts. Hyun-Ki's more traditional approach complemented her intuitive method. Hours passed. The research station continued its silent orbit around a distant planetary system. Stars moved, galaxies spun, and two researchers from completely different biological backgrounds discovered something remarkable about the universe's hidden mathematical languages. As their first research session concluded, Hyun-Ki realized something profound. Communication wasn't just about language. It was about understanding different perspectives, different ways of seeing the same cosmic puzzle. Ji-eun looked at him, her eyes reflecting something beyond human comprehension. A connection had been established, not romantic, not purely professional, but something more complex. A meeting of minds across biological boundaries. The research station continued its silent journey through space, carrying two researchers who would soon discover that their collaboration would change everything they knew about interstellar science. The research station's laboratory buzzed with quiet intensity. Hyun-Ki and Ji-eun worked side by side, their movements synchronized like a complex dance of scientific exploration. Starlight filtered through the massive windows, casting soft shadows across their workspace. Days had passed since their first encounter. What began as a professional collaboration slowly transformed into something more intricate. They discovered a shared language beyond words, the language of pure curiosity and scientific wonder. During a complex molecular analysis, their hands accidentally touched. The moment was brief, but unexpected. A small static spark jumped between their skin, momentarily shorting out Ji-un's communication translator. In that split second, something changed. Hyun-ki felt a strange sensation. It wasn't physical attraction in the traditional human sense. It was something deeper, a connection that transcended biological boundaries. Ji-un's skin had a slight, electromagnetic field that seemed to resonate with his own body's natural energy. Their research focused on a mysterious quantum particle that seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously. Each time their hands came close to the holographic displays, the particle behaved differently. It was almost as if their combined presence influenced the fundamental nature of matter. Interesting, Ji-un whispered, her voice carrying a melody of scientific excitement. The particle responds to our combined energy field. Hyun-ki noticed how her eyes changed color slightly when she was deeply concentrated. They shifted from deep blue to a soft green, like a living mood ring. Her adaptive suit changed colors in response to her emotional state, creating a beautiful display of scientific emotion. Lunch breaks became intense discussion sessions. They didn't eat traditional food. Instead, they consumed nutrient solutions that looked like liquid crystal. Ji-un's solution changed color based on her nutritional needs. Hyun-ki's remained a consistent blue. Their conversations went beyond standard research topics. They discussed the nature of consciousness, the mysteries of universal communication, and the potential for life beyond known biological systems. Each discussion felt like solving a complex puzzle together. One evening, during a particularly challenging research session, something unexpected happened. Their hands touched again while adjusting a quantum sensor. This time, the connection lasted longer. Hyun-ki saw flashes of something, memories perhaps, or thoughts that weren't his own. Ji-un experienced something similar. For a brief moment, their consciousness seemed to merge. They could see each other's thoughts, not in words, but in complex mathematical patterns and emotional landscapes. The research team around them noticed something had changed. Their collaborative efficiency increased exponentially. Problems that would take months to solve were now being resolved in hours. The station's lead researcher began to take notice. Something unusual is happening between Park and Kim, the station's director whispered to a colleague. Their research output has increased by 300%. But Hyun-ki and Ji-un were barely aware of the external observations. They were lost in their own world of scientific discovery. Each moment together felt like solving a cosmic puzzle that had existed for millennia. Their connection wasn't romantic in the traditional human sense. It was something more profound, a meeting of minds, a fusion of different biological perspectives. They communicated in ways that went beyond spoken language or written communication. As days turned into weeks, their bond grew stronger. The research station became their shared universe. Stars moved outside. Galaxies spun in their infinite dance. And two researchers from different biological backgrounds continued to discover the universe's most hidden secrets. The quantum particle they were studying seemed to respond to their combined presence. It changed states more frequently, revealed more complex behaviors. It was almost as if their connection was teaching them something about the fundamental nature of reality itself. Hyun-ki realized that science was more than just collecting data. It was about connection, about understanding, about seeing the universe from perspectives that went beyond individual limitations. Ji-un looked at him, her eyes reflecting the infinite complexity of the cosmos. Something was growing between them. A connection that would soon change everything they understood about life, research, and the mysteries of the universe. The research station's night cycle bathed everything in soft blue light. Hyun-ki and Ji-un worked alone in the quantum observation room, surrounded by holographic star maps and dancing particle simulations. Outside, distant galaxies spun their eternal dance. Their research had reached a critical point. A mysterious quantum signal kept changing its pattern, defying all known scientific laws. Hours passed. Their bodies moved in synchronization, adjusting sensors, analyzing data, sharing unspoken communication. Ji-eun's adaptive suit shifted colors, deep blues mixing with soft greens, reflecting her intense concentration. Hyun-Ki's hands moved precisely across holographic interfaces. They were close. So close their shoulders nearly touched. The quantum particle they studied seemed alive. It responded to their combined energy in ways no previous research had ever documented. Each time their hands came near, the particle would change its quantum state, creating impossible mathematical patterns. Exhaustion crept in. They had been working for 18 continuous hours. The station's artificial environment simulated a soft ambient temperature, designed to maintain human and alien biological efficiency. "Something is happening," Ji-eun whispered. Her voice carried a musical quality that seemed to vibrate with the quantum signals they were tracking. Hyun-Ki looked up. Their eyes met. Something shifted in that moment, not just scientifically, something deeper, something neither of them could fully explain. Their hands touched accidentally while adjusting a quantum sensor. A small electric spark jumped between their skin. The communication translator momentarily glitched, creating a strange bubble of complete understanding. In that split second, everything changed. Hyun-Ki saw memories that weren't his, glimpses of Ji-eun's homeworld, alien landscapes with 3 suns, complex mathematical civilizations that communicated through quantum frequencies. She saw his memories too, childhood moments, scientific dreams, personal struggles. The quantum particle they were studying suddenly stabilized. Its erratic movements became perfectly synchronized, as if responding to their emotional connection. Time seemed to slow. The stars outside appeared to pause in their infinite movement. Their faces were close. Too close. Ji-eun's breath carried a strange electromagnetic frequency. Her skin glowed softly, reflecting her emotional state. Hyun-Ki noticed how her eyes changed color, shifting from deep blue to a soft green. The kiss happened naturally, no dramatic moment, no intense build-up, just a simple, unexpected connection. Their lips touched. The entire research station seemed to hold its breath. The quantum particle they were studying exploded into a complex mathematical display of colors and frequencies. Holographic systems flickered. Computer networks momentarily went crazy, recording impossible data patterns. For those few seconds, something magical happened. 2 different biological systems, human and alien, found a moment of perfect harmony. The kiss lasted only moments, but it changed everything. When they separated, both looked surprised, not embarrassed. Just surprised. The quantum particle continued its strange dance, now showing patterns that suggested something beyond current scientific understanding. "Interesting," Ji-eun said, her voice carrying multiple layers of meaning. Hyun-Ki could only nod. Words suddenly seemed insufficient. The research station continued its silent orbit. Stars moved, galaxies spun, and 2 researchers had just discovered something far more complex than any quantum particle, a connection that defied traditional scientific explanation. Their computer systems recorded the moment. Millions of data points captured the exact millisecond of their kiss. Complex algorithms would spend years trying to understand what happened in those few seconds. Outside, a distant nebula seemed to pulse with a strange, synchronized rhythm, as if the entire universe was acknowledging something profound had just occurred. Hyun-Ki and Ji-eun returned to their work. But something had changed. Something fundamental. Their research would never be the same again. The quantum particle continued, its dance, now showing patterns that suggested a new understanding of connection, energy, and the mysterious language of the universe. The research station hummed with its usual quiet efficiency. Hyun-Ki worked alone, reviewing quantum data from their previous experiment. Something felt different. The air seemed charged with an unusual energy. Suddenly, the main entrance opened. Ji-yoon walked in, her adaptive suit flickering with strange colors. But she wasn't alone. Cradled in her arms was a baby, not just any baby. A fully formed infant that looked impossibly developed. The entire research center froze. Scientists stopped working. Computer systems momentarily glitched. Everyone stared in complete shock. The baby had Hyun-Ki's precise eyes, dark and intelligent. But its skin carried Ji-yoon's iridescent quality, shifting colors subtly with each breath. It looked months old, not hours. "This is impossible," whispered the station's lead medical researcher. Ji-yoon moved with calm precision. She placed the infant on a medical scanning platform. Her adaptive suit continued changing colors, rapid shifts between blue, green, and soft purple. Medical scanners came to life. Holographic displays erupted with complex genetic information. The baby's biological structure defied every known scientific understanding of reproduction. Genetic markers showed a perfect fusion of human and alien DNA. Not a hybrid. Something entirely new. A completely integrated biological system that shouldn't exist. The baby made no sound. Its eyes moved with an intelligence that seemed far beyond infant capability. It observed the research center with a calm, almost calculating gaze. Hyun-Ki approached slowly. His heart raced. Scientific curiosity mixed with something deeper. A connection he couldn't explain. "How?" he asked simply. Ji-yoon's response carried multiple layers of meaning. "Our connection transcended biological limitations." Station alarms began to sound. Diplomatic channels activated. This wasn't just a scientific discovery. This was a potential cosmic event that would change everything humans understood about reproduction, genetics, and interspecies communication. The baby's skin continued to shift colors, sometimes matching Hyun-Ki's lab coat, sometimes reflecting the holographic displays around it. Each color change seemed deliberate, communicative. Medical teams swarmed. Blood tests, genetic scans, neurological evaluations. Each test produced results that seemed more impossible than the last. The infant's brain activity showed patterns of a fully developed adult. Its cellular regeneration rate suggested unprecedented biological capabilities. It processed information faster than the station's most advanced quantum computers. Diplomatic protocols demanded immediate quarantine. Questions flooded in from multiple planetary governments. How was this possible? What did this mean for human-alien relations? Ji-yoon remained calm. She watched the medical team with a serene expression. Her adaptive suit now matched the baby's color-shifting skin, a visual representation of their biological connection. Hyun-Ki noticed something strange. Every time he moved closer, the baby's eyes would lock onto him. Not with infant vulnerability, but with a profound, almost ancient understanding. "We will call him Woo-jin," Ji-yoon said suddenly. The name seemed to carry a mathematical precision, a cosmic significance. The research station continued its silent orbit. Stars moved outside. Galaxies spun in their infinite dance. And something extraordinary had just been born. A single kiss had created life. A life that challenged everything humans knew about biology, reproduction, and the potential of interspecies connection. Medical displays continued recording. Computers processed impossible data. And Woo-jin, the baby born from a moment of scientific and emotional connection, watched everything with eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the universe. News traveled faster than light. Within hours, Woo-jin became the most studied living being in human history. Scientific teams from every planetary consortium wanted access to the impossible child. The research station transformed. What was once a quiet scientific outpost now buzzed with unprecedented activity. Researchers from multiple species arrived, each hoping to understand the miracle of Woo-jin's existence. Hyun-Ki watched carefully. The baby, if you could call him that, seemed more like a living computer than an infant. His eyes tracked complex, holographic displays with impossible precision. When scientists ran tests, Woo-jin's skin would change color, almost like he was communicating through biological patterns. Ji-eun remained calm. Her connection with the child seemed telepathic. She could calm him with a simple thought. When medical teams tried standard infant examinations, Woo-jin would simply adjust his own biological systems, making traditional testing methods useless. Genetic analysis revealed something extraordinary. Woo-jin's DNA wasn't just a combination of human and alien genetic material. It was a completely new biological system. He could adapt to different environmental conditions instantly. Radiation, extreme temperatures, atmospheric changes. Nothing seemed to affect him. Diplomatic channels went crazy. Some governments wanted to study him. Others saw him as a potential weapon. Some religious groups considered him a miracle. Scientific communities saw him as the next step in biological evolution. Woo-jin grew rapidly. What would take human children? Years happened in weeks. By his first month, he demonstrated language skills that matched advanced university professors. He could communicate in multiple planetary languages simultaneously. The research station became his home. Hyun-ki and Ji-eun became more than parents. They became scientific guardians of something unprecedented. Strange things happened around Woo-jin. Computer systems would optimize themselves when he was nearby. Quantum particles would behave differently. It was like he carried a field of extraordinary potential wherever he went. International scientific conferences debated his existence. Was he a child? A scientific breakthrough? A potential threat to existing biological understanding? Woo-jin seemed aware of the discussions. His eyes would change color during these debates. Sometimes blue like Hyun-ki's analytical mind. Sometimes shifting like Ji-eun's adaptive nature. Always watching, always learning. Medical scans showed his brain functioning at levels beyond current scientific understanding. He processed information like a living quantum computer. Complex mathematical problems took him seconds to solve. Global scientific challenges became simple puzzles. The research station's lead director called him a biological singularity, a being that represented a complete transformation of known scientific principles. As months passed, Woo-jin's abilities became more apparent. He could interface with computer systems through thought. His skin could change not just color, but molecular density. He seemed to understand complex universal principles that would take humans centuries to comprehend. Ji-eun explained it simply. He is a bridge between species, between understanding. Hyun-ki saw something more. In Woo-jin's eyes, he saw the potential of human-alien connection, not as a threat, but as a beautiful, complex possibility. The universe seemed to respond to Woo-jin's existence. Quantum research centers reported strange synchronicities. Particle behaviors changed. It was almost as if his very existence was rewriting fundamental scientific laws. Global leaders debated his status. Was he a citizen? A scientific specimen? A potential diplomatic representative? Woo-jin remained calm through it all, growing, learning, expanding the boundaries of what anyone thought was possible. The research station continued its silent journey through space. Stars moved, galaxies spun, and a child born from a single unexpected kiss represented humanity's most profound step into a larger, more complex universal understanding. Something extraordinary had begun, and no one, not scientists, not politicians, not entire planetary systems, could predict where this journey would lead.